Always have a side hustle, guys and girls. Always have a side hustle. And I'm saying that to myself as well. Like, I'm saying that to myself more than anyone else because I saw this video the other day, and the reason why I say always have a side hustle because this video is kind of making the rounds, and I saw it in my feed, and you probably come across it as it kind of went viral. But basically, so this girl in the video here, she filmed herself getting fired from Cloudflare, and it was a very quick 10-minute awkward call or 15-minute awkward call with the HR department. Two people who she'd never met before online on video, and they basically said, "Hey, you've been underperforming. We're gonna have to let you go, and we're sorry." Blah blah blah. And it was like three. She'd been working there for 3 months. The very negative thing that came out of this, apart from her getting let go, of course, which is the worst part, of course, but was there was no solid reason. She had meetings with her manager, one-to-ones, catch up on her reports, and she was basically in sales. There was no sign of anything being a problem. There was no, hey, you need to up your numbers a little bit or make more calls or whatever the strategies were. She was completely blindsided by this whole thing, and so it was super surprising to her, and obviously she was really upset because when it comes to being let go because of performance reasons, it should never be a surprise. It never. It shouldn't. It should. You should have. If you are a professional company, you should have like a path for this. Like, hey, you need to up your numbers, or hey, things are a little bit slow. Try this, and you'll start to get maybe. As you go further down the meetings, there might be warnings, but there'll be signs, and you'll kind of know about it. It won't just be out of the blue. Hey, you're fired. So, and one of the things she said in this video was like, "Oh, well, this sounds like you guys have just hired too quickly, and now you're downsizing. And instead of telling people, hey, we're downsizing, we've got to let you go, you're just telling people they're fired because of performance reasons." Now, this I think is a US girl, and I don't know if it was the Cloudflare is worldwide. I'm not sure, but anyway, the in the UK, I was let go like last year. I think it was May, and I mentioned this in my last video as well. And they got the team together, and they said, listen, they're downsizing the company, and they're letting it go. However many percent it was, I can't remember now, but it was a fairly big number. It was a big company, and we were all wow. We thought everything was on the up, but it was obviously we were upset, but it was okay in terms of right. They're downsizing. They've hired too fast, and now they're just letting people go. Fine, whatever. I accept it. We got a very generous severance package as well, like me and the team, and so I was okay with it. And I've been through layoffs before. It always happens, and I work in tech. I'm a programmer. Always happens, like every couple of years. I'm not surprised anymore if it happens, but I would be surprised definitely if I was let go for performance reasons without any warning and totally by surprise, because there should always be talks about that before it happens, as I said. So the reason why I said always have a side hustle, guys, is because there is nothing worse in the world in my. Oh, there's obviously worse things, but there's nothing worse in the world when you get let go from your job and you have no extra income, you have no passive income, you have nothing. What do you call it? Extra streams of revenue coming in. It's just horrible because I've been through it before. And I remember when I got fired years ago, boy, like 13 years ago now, because of performance reasons. Okay, so I wasn't surprised, and I accepted it totally. But as soon as that happened, I was panicking and scrambling and wondering, and oh no, what am I going to do? And I'll just take anything. I'll go work at McDonald's. I'll go and do whatever. It doesn't matter. And there's nothing worse in the world like when that happens. And I'm sure lots of you have been through that before, which is why I said you've got to have a passive income or a backup idea or side hustle or extra stream of revenue, whatever that may be. And again, I'm saying this to myself. I really, really have to build a side hustle for myself, like just something that doesn't take up a lot of time, is hopefully passive, and doesn't take me away from my full-time job, and doesn't require me to like work my fingers to the bone in 20 hours a day or something ridiculous 7 days a week. That's just not going to happen. But I had a small business for a few years, like 5 years between 2012, 2016, 17, something like that. And I was making passive income and it was doing great. I managed to build up a couple of small things along the way over the years, and one of them was an affiliate marketing channel where it would, if you saw the product and you bought it, I would make a small percentage. That makes me about $100 a month, roughly, and that just goes into a business account. And I don't even watch it, to be honest. I just every now and then I'll see an account statement from my business account, which is completely inactive now. It's just trickling along, and that's it. But it's nothing. If I was to get fired, I would be in a very tough situation. I have savings, but I don't want to touch those savings. Those are for my son in the future. Those are for me when I retire, my wife, and so on. So I had it for a while where I was working as a programmer. I was in tech and I made money through my business. That quickly died down because building apps and things just became too popular, just getting overpopulated. It was extremely difficult to make money. And so I'm trying to find a way to make more money now as a side hustle. And in fact, this YouTube channel itself is one of those ways. Like it's an attempt at me seeing what can work at the moment, what could possibly bring in some extra revenue, and what can I build up. Now, I'm looking at some of these ideas here as I was sort of talking about this for sort of inspiration of the video. Things like deliver food, yeah, okay, but the problem is you've got to use your time. Ideally, you'd want to build up something passive. Like in my situation, okay, this is for me. After my full-time job, I can't go out then and start delivering food. I have a family. I want to spend time with my baby. I don't want to go out delivering food. Starting a blog, yeah, that's extremely difficult. It's very, very difficult. It takes a long time. And I think, yeah, they sort of mentioned here, like it's it's definitely not like a quick win. It takes a lot of time to build up a successful blog. Same with a YouTube channel, like doing these videos as well. They take a lot of time. But once you do get to that point of it being passive, then nothing is 100% passive either. Like I just want to be clear on that. Like you always have to put in some effort, but you're not exchanging time for money. I think that's the main point here. Is even if you make 1 cent a month, but then the next month you make 2 cents and 5 cents, and that actually happened with my first business. Like for every day I was only making like $1, I think, and I eventually grew it to not a huge company, but I was able to like hire a couple of small like junior developers and then also like pay for my own living costs. I was not driving Ferraris or hiring like a private jet or going public or anything like that. This was just a small business that I managed to pay for myself, and a couple of junior developers. So it was good for a few years there. A ton of work though, really, way too much work. My health suffered because of it. So a lot of these, like become a makeup artist, rent out your car. Well, I need my car. Rent out space in your house. Yes, that is passive. That's a passive one. And I've actually done this before as well. Like my house here is a 3-bedroom house. My wife and I stayed on the top floor and we rented out the other 2 rooms. It's good. Well, we couldn't do it now because we have a baby, but at the time it was pretty good and it was a nice extra passive income, which in fact covered the mortgage each month as well. You've got to be comfortable with other people living in your house though, and you've got to like them. You've got to get along with them. It's ultra important. I did this, and the last guy who stayed here in one of the rooms, we weren't very comfortable with him. And he was cool. I mean, when I said, "Hey, it's not working out," and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to make you uncomfortable either, and I'll find a new place. Can I have a couple of weeks?" Yeah, of course. And it was fine. It was amicable. But you can't have any discomfort in your home with other people living there. It's just not. It's not gonna work out. Where was the page I was looking at a moment ago? It was this one from Google. So buy a rental property. I mean, that is good. That's what I want to look at. That's what I would like to do. I'm considering, actually, me and my wife are looking at maybe moving home and keeping this home and then renting this home out if we can. Requires a lot of money to do this, though, a lot of savings, of course. Like if you wanted to buy a rental property in the UK, you need 25% deposit to do that. So yeah, I mean, these require a lot of that requires a lot of upfront cash. But the cool thing is, once you do that, you've then not only are you owning the property, but it's It's passive if you set it up correctly, like if you have a management company to rent the house out. And that's, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like one of these businesses which has been around for God knows how many years. And if you can have like a set of rental properties, you're setting yourself up for a passive income in the future. You can sell them as the value increases, because you own that percentage of the home. It's a big topic. I might make a separate video. I don't know a ton about it, but my family's done a little bit of this, and I've done a little bit of it in the past, so I might talk about it, because it is also an area that I want to get into more, but it does require a lot of savings. Affiliate marketing is awesome, but very difficult to grow. I think all business is hard. All business is difficult. There's quick wins that you can do, but passive stuff is even harder. Like I said, the affiliate thing is great. You just promote somebody else's business. High yield savings account. Well, I mean, that's if you've got savings. That's not. It is passive income. That is true. That is true. Real estate investment. YouTube channel. Hey, whoa, there we go. That's the best ideas. One of the best ideas. Rent out your spare room. Rent out your car. Yeah, teach online courses. Udemy maybe is a good one. I don't know. It's not something I've done personally. But yeah, I mean, what I'm doing is I'm trying to start a YouTube channel again. I did have one a while ago, wasn't very successful at all. So my kind of thinking was that, hey, I'll start a YouTube channel on money, because it's something I think about a lot all the time, like both in a good way and a bad way, mainly in a bad way, like as in worrying about it. The other one is as well was a website that I started that I might introduce soon on the channel, perhaps. That's not making any money yet, but I think it's something but it's slower. That it's an interesting thing to improve my programming skills in that area of web development, which I like to do. I enjoy that stuff, but it does take a long time to grow any kind of audience and monetize it, because YouTube online stuff is just so damn competitive, and there's like 1,000 new websites every minute going up around the world, and you're trying to fight. It's pure red ocean. It's blood in the water. It's very difficult. But yeah, I mean, these are some interesting ideas. Invest in a business. Yeah, create an app. I did that before. App stores are also extremely competitive as well. They're just like websites, really. Become a blogger, self-made good. So there's a lot of things here. Like, I guess at the end of the day, the big thing is, guys, like, when this stuff happens, when this happens, you've got to have a backup. You don't want to be in this situation. I've been in it before. It's horrible. I don't know what to say out there. And I think I've made the point. I might be laboring it now. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Catch you next time.